Okay. Um, First of all, I want to say one thing. I just want to thank God that in my life I didn't have to live the life these people live. They have lived a life of delusionality in order to cope with reality. And I'm just thankful that I didn't have to live a life of these perps. Perps who are contracted by these governmental entities, who do horrible things to some of the most vulnerable, but have tried to create a psyop to somehow try to delude themselves and delude me in regard of what this is about. They call that their reality. It's a distorted reality where reality is fabricated in a way that is so delusional. I just heard this perp talking about how we're liberating, we're freeing these women. Because the truth is, as target individual, we are human subjects. Human subjects include women, children, and men. These perps doing this thing to me, many of them have involved themselves in doing that to women too. But they wanted to paint themselves into something they're not. They wanted to make it seem like somehow, because it comes from them, and they are women or female, apparently that's an indication that they are protecting women, avenging women, and will not be participating in the torture of women, which have been falsified and quickly exposed to be falsified. Because those women who are being targeted too have called out the fact that there's a lot of females involved in their targeting, indicating that regardless of the gender, perps come in all shape and form. And these perps of mine have been trying to present themselves as this woke, progressive group of individuals who are protecting women and children, but happen to be in this program that is torturing a lot of women and children. And they've been using these childlike individuals who somehow, with this gaslighting that is just not functional, that is, I'm gonna be like, oh, you know what? You're right. You are spending your own money, and you are a different group of people who will not torture those women and children. And I should just see you as just badass femme fatale, not this trash that are involved in this program that is sexually torturing women and children. This is truly what they want me to think. And by the way, as I was saying that, I could hear a perp try to disorient me. They try to change what I'm thinking and scream out, oh, you're going to be tortured. And the reason why they say that is just like a child. When a child's trying to change subject? When they try to kind of make you think of something else or just kind of diverge? That's what they try to do. Because it's obvious that these people doing this thing to me are the same people doing these things to women and children. And there is no escaping. That means that you are truly the trash that you are. And the fantasy of what you wanted to perceive yourself as did not work. Matter of fact, it's so humiliating that as they were trying to play this progressive femme fatale, these CIA entities actually are trying to recruit this kind of people. The intelligence community is really even trying to use the same facade. And this weak lowlife somehow want me to see them in different ways. When they truly are involved in the same program that you're going to hear torture women in ways that you can't even understand. And the people who put me in this program, trust me, far from what they try to portray themselves as. So for me, it's been trying to maintain reality as these people wanted to create this facade. What these people do to women, what they do to children, are things that you can't even understand. They are the nasty shit. And on top of that, try to create that psyop. Try to present themselves as people who are avenging, protecting women in a program that is literally even suffocating 7-year-old children. These are the people doing this thing to me. They are in this, if they haven't even experienced that, they themselves are in that same program, this program led by this massive government led by these governmental entities tied to this intelligence community that happen to have a lot of problems in certain ways, and participating in a program that is doing so much nasty things to the most vulnerable. Now, of course, I understand that. They don't want to be seen because I see them for truly what they are, this fantasy. That's why they like to use childlike individuals who have no self respect. Because there's no way you can escape reality. I noticed the older ones are just, it's harder for them to kind of escape. Because when they say, now you pay, you are in a program that is torturing babies. You are in a program that is suffocating, torturing, doing horrible things. You're part of that. When you hear this testimony of this woman talking about what she's saying, that's what you're part of. This is you guys. You guys are part of that. But you think that your gaslighting makes, I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, she said not real, so it's not real. Make the mistake. Think that I'm like, oh, no, you know what? This is not real. This is their money. You know, for me, they do these agitating ways of trying to gaslight me into accepting this facade of reality they put together. Yes, you are part of this program that does these nasty things. I know who I am. I know you try to change who I am. Yes, I understand you using this basic gaslighting method. You know it's not going to work on this side in that fashion. You know that if you show yourself and you're like, nah, real, I'll be like, trash, I know you torture babies, you fucking shit. You're not liberating. You're not freeing. You're not freeing them. You're torturing more women. You know why I know that? Because this is not just for torturing and killing. This is beyond that. I know what this is about. This is just a human, unique human subject to develop this technology. I know what this is really about. Trash like you are just contracted to do these things. You enjoy that. You feel like God. I understand this technology is extremely sophisticated. When in your own life, you're nothing but a piece of shit. But here you feel special. But you know what this is. There'll be more women, there'll be more children be put in this program, just like there'll be more men. You know why? Because like any machine learning technology, the more people you put in this, the more database, the better it gets. And so you will have to continuously add more people, which will include children and women, and you involved in that. And you destroy their life systematically. And you'll do these things, you enjoy it too, because you make you feel like you're God when you're just nothing. And you'll be working for those entities that happen to have a bunch of pedophiles, which is very real again, but it's not real for you because you need to cope with reality. So, for me, as they were trying to go into the escapism, like, no, not you paid. And it's like, man, just the mass shooting 2 weeks ago was just kind of an example of reality. Just the testimonies all around the world has just been validation. So I'm like, thank God I didn't have to live my life. Because these people will pay one way or another. They will. You're not in this program that does these horrible things to even babies and you think it's free. You don't live this cowardly life for free. There's a price. You don't live this fraudulent life for free. There's a price. You already start paying that price. You don't even know it. These people are here, they're not real, and you have to be retarded. My torture is not going to change that. I'm thankful that I didn't have to live this life. You know, they always try to create this fantasy where, in the humiliation of reality, you know, yesterday they were trying to make me believe this. It's funny. I have perps. Some of them are younger than others. The childlike individuals really want to go into the escapism so bad. But when you see the more adults one, the more mature one, they hate it. Especially when they still try to maintain a sense of intellect. Because the testimonies are just straight to the point. It's just not even like, so if somebody in 10 years ago was saying, they do the pedophilia type of torture, or saying they try to manipulate me, like, it's just so obvious, right? The correlations. But they try to gaslight me, and they know that this guy's not going with the gaslighting. So let's just send the childlike individuals, because they're going to be like children. They'll be like, not real. And so they were making me experience. I was watching these movies, and I was with this perp, so pathetic. And they were trying to make me believe, you see, and then in this movie, there's a movie with a child. They were trying to get, it was so disturbing. But that's what they do. And they wanted me to subscribe to these pedophilia things they do to people. And they're like, now what we're doing, we're making you think this way, the way you thought when you were a kid. You once thought like that when you were a kid, you see. You pay now. Because then they talk about, remember what you did as a kid, you know. And one, the pedophilia type of torture has been obviously testified about. They torture children sexually. And they have the tendency of manipulating people's brain. And you're saying that me as an adult is now having to think a way I've thought when I was a child. And that's why they contract childlike individuals like you. Because you have to dumb yourself down, or you have to be on that level already to try to make me subscribe to these things. Because in reality, you are changing people's ways of thinking. And you saying, no, we're changing, but to you when you were a kid, shows how stupid you need me to be to accept to this, which I'm not going to let you escape, because I'm going to say out loud what you just literally want me to subscribe to. And you, who are involved in a program that does these horrible things you're going to hear about what they do to children, are telling me I'm going to pay for what I did as a child, while you in a program that tortured children this way. You see? Nasty it is. You do horrible things to even babies. You know that, right? That 3-week-old infant, that 3-year-old sexual torture. Yes, you do that because you know what you are part of. In that program that do bad things to babies, to kids. So when I see you and I remember what you do to children, I'm going to think this trash are involved in a program that does bad things to babies. And trash like you are not killing me. You're just trash. But you're trash for a program that killed babies. You understand? You cannot do nothing to me. You're just nothing. But this program is governmental. That's why I'm going to lose. That's why everybody is going to lose who's in this program. Because we are against governmental entities that contract trash like you, and trash like you do your job. Then you die. So I'm thankful that I didn't have to be contracted to be trash like you. Even though I'm going to be in pain, sufferance. You know, yesterday I was watching this guy who was talking about how jail was horrible. He was in somewhere in Angola, right? Angola is the prison in New Orleans, or somewhere over there. I don't know if it's New Orleans, but yes, it's not Louisiana. And he was talking about how like that place is just horrible. He saw men getting raped and they were doing this and that. And it's like, oh, if you're a child molester, you know, they're going to rape you and this and this and that. And, you know, they wanted me to be scared, right? It started making me my heart beat. I'm like, first of all, you see the humiliation of reality? Guess who's the child molesters here? I didn't write this. You know what's not real? This BuzzFeed article that come up. When I say not real, I mean non-real their way, in their reality. This BuzzFeed article has exposed them that this intelligence community have problem with pedophiles. One thing was so nasty, like the CIA agent was fired, just fired, because he was doing things to a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old. And other nasty things regarding pedophilia. Not real. That's what they call it, because that's reality. Another things they do to children is this sexual torture. They actually sexually torture children. Not real, because that's what they do. 3-year-old children grabbing their crotch area because they are having pain. And the sexual torture is utilized to torment these children, which is meant to even torment the target individual who is responsible for these children. They use Department of Defense technology to hurt children even in a sexual way. create some kind of molestation type of torture onto children. Not real. So they want me to identify with this because they want me to subscribe to how they manipulate me. They do this pedophilia type of torture and make me think of kids in disgusting pedophilia ways. And they want me to think, oh, this is natural. Oh, no, they mapped it. They mapped it out, right? And listen to how retarded it sounds like. They mapped it out, meaning that they made me experience something that I've experienced at some point, even in my childhood. They might manipulate my brain to think in a way that I've once experienced in my childhood or some point like that. Basically admitting that my brain is being rearranged in a way that I experienced that, even that is falsified. Because they do this pedophilia type of torture. You understand how stupid it is? It's like, oh, I wonder what they will map you out if they were mapping you out. Delusional. And then they get humiliated by that there is a common thing they like to do. They do the pedophilia type of torture to the point that when they were surveying multiple target individuals, about 1,000, almost all of them were forced to see child porn in their mind. I wonder if it's the purpose of mapping them out. So there is a common pattern that is pedophilia centric. So not only this logic is nonsensical, but also there is a common pattern of doing this pedophilia type of torture. Now, what they tell me they're going to do is they're going to frame me, right? They're going to frame me. Some childlike trash is going to say something that, some falsified shit that they've been set me up. And they're going to frame me and they're going to catch me in this frame. And then I'm going to go to jail. And that's when I'm going to be tortured in whatever disturbing ways. And I'm like, listen, I'm going to be framed by people who do this pedophilia type of torture and who actually torture children sexually and are reigned by entities where pedophilia is a problem. I'd rather die this way. And as horrible as it's going to sound like. And so when this guy was talking about how horrible he was in jail, they want me to be like scared. It's like, no, I know what you guys do. This is an honorable death. It's going to be painful. And they try to compensate with torture in order to block out the reality and stay in their reality. Because reality, the real reality has been exposed. And now it's about manipulation. Earlier this morning, they were doing these things. It was so nasty. Where I wake up, they make me think of this nasty pedophilia things they did. And there was this little African kid, and I have African origins. And this kid, when we were kids, they would put lotion on us that was very like very shiny and like made your skin look very shiny and silky. And this kid, I can see that the parents did the same thing. She had a very silky, like shiny skin, which is because they put that lotion, and the lotion, they put certain things in that lotion to make your skin even more glowy, right? And my skin when I was a kid, it was just like hers. It was just like super nice and shiny and whatever. But they're trying to make me look at this kid in a sexual way. This time, even when I'm speaking about it, they're stimulating me right now. So, oh, the skin is shiny, silky. It's like, yes, like mine when I was a child. Because they put the lotion that makes your skin look very good. And they'll try to be like, you see, you want, it's like, it's delusional. Oh, Angola is the prison, the name of this prison. They're gonna rape you. They're like, stupid. And then they will make me have like imaginations of like me having sexual dream with somebody, and then try to condition my brain to train me to think about this kid in this sexual way. It's like, this is the life I could have lived. And like, oh, we're gonna be. Of course, my brain is gonna be overridden by whatever you want me to experience. Yes, I understand what this is about. There's nothing I can do to counter what's happening to my brain. I'm going to experience, perceive, think the way you want me to experience, because this is why this technology is so sophisticated. That's why you love this thing. You're God. You can make me think the way you want me. You can override my thoughts. You can erase me and make me think in different ways. This is God-like things. That's why you love this shit. That's what this trash, these nobodies, contracted by these governmental entities love this. They have the power to make me think the way they want me. Their job right now is to make me think these disturbing ways for me to look at myself in a different fashion. Then they bring up what they do in jail to child molester because they want me to identify to a child molester when the reality, they're the fucking child molesters and pedophiles. On top of that, the way they try to restructure your brain in these disgusting ways is beyond just being child molesters and pedophiles. They're nasty lowlifes who try to restructure somebody's brain in these disgusting ways and train them to think in these ways. Then wanting them to identify with manipulations and brainwashing methods using this technology that is overwhelmingly advanced and sophisticated, that us as human subject can do nothing about it. We just deal with what we experience. We just experience this way like that. Just recognize that as another manipulation. Early on, they were bringing up some memory manipulation that make me experience this. They can go into your memories and just change your memories. I made a video 3 years ago specifically saying that. And every day there's something they manipulate. They go into your memory, especially the older memories, the better. Like some random memory they can change. For me, black little girls, oh my gosh, they try to find this one, like for example, where they brought like to try to make me think of like high school years. There was this guy I used to live in when I was in middle school. He comes back. He was talking to my mother. There was and then he showed, oh look now I have a family. Look at the kids, and they're trying to make me experience, or they are making me experience me having the stimulation they make me have today, because I'm manipulated into my memories. You know how like it just changes. Like you see, you proved it. You felt it like that. You see. And then they go into the torture I'm going to experience. They do 3 things all the time. They distort reality. Their deceptions is unbelievable. And disorient you every time they can. Non-stop. So, you have to be strong. Because these people who talk about now pay do these things that you just heard me say. If you don't believe me, listen to the testimonies. They speak for themselves. So stay strong and do not identify with the manipulations.